Hi, this is Mike from Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and today we're going to be taking a look at an air purifier from PARTU. Keep watching to find out more. Okay, so today is slightly going to take a detour from our usual tech gadgets, although this is probably one of the more beneficial ones we've actually reviewed. So this is an air purifier. So if you've not used an air purifier before, essentially in your home you've got lots of things like particles, dust, soot, allergens, all those kinds of things which are floating around in the atmosphere which you can't actually see, but they're definitely there. Now sometimes you can taste them, sometimes you can smell them, whatever it may be, but those are affecting your air quality. And your air quality is something that most of us take for granted. You wake up, you can smell things, etc, etc, and most of us become kind of nose blind after about 30 minutes or so. Most people become nose blind to any smells or aromas or anything which is in your air, so you don't always really know if there is a problem with your air quality or not. So why take the risk? And especially if you're someone who suffers from allergies, wherever you get the kind of like the dry or watery eyes, or sneezing all the time, all those kinds of things, air quality can play a massive part in that. So something like this, the air purifier from PARTU, can be really useful around the home. Now this was sent to me for review, so obviously do take all the information here at face value. I haven't been paid to say anything, so this is literally going to be my opinion of it and my thoughts on the product. Saying that, there will be affiliated links in the description below, so you can check it out on Amazon if you wish to, both for the filters and also for the unit itself. So let's take a look at the package and see what we actually get. So first of all, obviously this is the box, PARTU air purifier model number BS08, and some of the features of it. So you've got colourful night lights. Now actually that's one thing I did say when I wanted to do the review. They said, like, are you okay to do it? I said, has it got RGB light in? They're like, yeah. It's like, right, count me in, I'll be all over that. So you've got RGB colourful lighting on there, which you can turn off if you wish to, which we'll see a little bit later on. You've got lowest noise of 30 decibels, so it's relatively quiet, just a slightly noisier than like a desktop PC in use. You've got 3 speeds, so low, medium and high, and also you've got room coverage of up to about 12 meters squared. So most offices, lounges, that kind of thing, this can be absolutely fine for. If you're looking for a slightly bigger space, then they do other models which are slightly larger, but this is ideal for kind of office setups, small rooms, lounges, those kinds of things, maybe even in your kitchen if you wanted to. So let's take a look at the filter. So the filter is a HEPA standard. So you've got various stages of filtration. There's 4 stages that are there. So first of all, you've got the peptides, which can kill bacteria, fungi, and even viruses. Then you've got the HEPA filtration for respirable particles. That's those tiny little things that you breathe in. And then you've got some activated carbon. So that gets rid of formaldehyde, odours, etc. Like things like cigarettes, that kind of thing. And then you've got a mesh scaffold, so that intercepts dust and filters at the larger sizes. Fine debris and hairs, all those kinds of things that normally float around in the air. So we talked enough about what's actually in the box. Let's take a look and see what we get. So the filter itself and the unit are all packaged in together. You don't get a separate filter. You can replace the filters. Now they do recommend that you replace the filters kind of every 6 to 8 months. So obviously that is an ongoing expense which you are going to have to kind of live with. But as with most of these HEPA filters, they aren't washable, so you do have to replace them at some point or other. Now this particular one, I've looked at some of the prices, and you're looking at about £20 or so on Amazon for a replacement HEPA filter, which actually seems pretty reasonable. We took a look at the Dyson hot and cold air conditioner a long time ago, and the actual replacement filters for that were exceptionally expensive. You're looking at nearly £100 here in the UK for a replacement filter for the Dyson, which again had a similar kind of lifespan. So for this you probably get 2.5 years use out of this cost-wise against the Dyson model, so that's pretty good. So there's the unit itself, and we've got some instructions as well here, so we'll take a look at those in a little minute. You get a relatively long cable on there. It's about 1.5 meter cable by the looks of things, and you've got some cautionary details on the back of it, but this is the unit itself. I think it actually looks pretty cool. The kind of satin matte black finish and the gloss front control panel looks really nice. and the kind of filtration output section here. So you've got input at the bottom, output at the top, so your dirty air is going in there, being filtered and then pushed back out through the top. You've also got LED lighting in there, which again we'll take a look at in a minute when we power it up. And yeah, it all looks very, very nice indeed. This kind of satin finish is quite good for covering up or removing fingerprints, that kind of thing, so keeping it clean is going to be pretty easy to do. I think there is a protective coating on here possibly, or maybe not. You can never tell these things because the coatings are very, very well put on. Yes, there is a protective coating on there, so we'll quickly do the peel. And there we go, so that is a super glossy, touch sensitive control panel on there. So as you can see, you've got the speed indicator, so 1, 2 and 3. You've got your on off button, you've got your light button, so you can turn the lighting off if you don't like it for any reason. Maybe you're going to sleep or something, you can turn the light off. You've got the ion activation, so this actually puts out negatively charged ions into the air. Now, getting on to more of a kind of sciencey thing, dirt and debris in the air generally are positively charged ions. So by putting out negatively charged ions, they bond to each other. So the positive and negative attract to each other. So then that makes it easier for the unit to pull in the dirt and debris in the air, which is great. Very scientific, but it seems to do the job. And also we've got a filter light. So when the filter needs cleaning, so when the motor feels there's some kind of restriction on there, then the light will go on and warn you that you need to change your filter. So speaking of filters, it's probably a good time to have a look at the filter and see how easy it is to take out and remove. So all we need to do is turn the unit over onto its side, and we've got a twist lock on the base, and this is the filter. So when you first get your machine, you will have this plastic coating on it, so obviously do remove the plastic coating before you use the machine, otherwise, well, it's not going to do a particularly good job, and you may actually damage the machine. So make sure you take it out first of all. Now you will find, as with most of these filters, when you first use it, because of the activated carbon in there, you do have a slightly strange odour at first, but generally that tends to go after maybe an hour or so. So all you do is put the canister back into the machine and then put the lid on and twist it into the locked position. So now we're pretty much ready to go. So let's plug this in and see what it's like. So when you plug it in, first of all, there's no actual on-off button on here as such. So you get the notification kind of beep to say that it's on and active and it's ready to be used. So this is like in standby mode. In standby mode, it's using a ridiculously low amount of energy. It's almost undetectable, maybe 1 or 2 watts, if that. So you can leave it in the kind of plugged in stage all the time and just refer to the front to turn it on or off. So let's turn the machine on. So press the on off button. And first of all, it goes into speed setting number 1, which is absolutely whisper quiet. And hopefully you can just make out the LED lighting which is coming out around here, which is actually really subtle. So if it's in a room somewhere, it's going to be absolutely fine. It's not like a disco going on in your house or anything. It's just some really cool mood lighting, and it goes through the color cycles, through the rainbow patterns, and repeats and repeats. So the on off button, as you can see, illuminates in red, so you can see that it's on. You've got the light button on the front which glows blue, so if you press it, and you've actually got 2 stages of lighting, so light and a slightly darker version or off, so 3 stages on that. And also you've got your illumination for the ions. So at the moment this is pumping out negatively charged ions. You press the button and it turns off again. With all of these features you get the audible feedback, and also you get the illumination as well, so you know it's actually happened. Also you've got your filter change button there, and the speed is in the front, in the middle. So if you press the speed button, it goes up to speed level 2, which again actually is pretty quiet. It's not particularly loud at all. Almost like a kind of white noise in the background. You're probably picking it up quite well because my microphone is right here, right next to where the motor is. So let's put it onto full blast. So that is onto full. So certainly a lot quieter than a cooker hood, that kind of thing, but still a little bit noisy. You may not want to have this on all the time, but what I would suggest is when you get this, first of all, if there's a particularly problem room that you've got, leave it on full speed, leave the room, let it carry on doing its thing, just let it run. And then in normal use, you can have it on speed 1. Like, I could quite happily have this on speed 1 whilst recording videos, etc. It is actually whisper quiet. And the air that's coming out, I can smell the activated carbon a little bit, but the air that comes out actually comes out feeling quite cool, and it's almost like when you put air conditioning on in your car and you get that kind of cool, fresh breeze come through. That is the kind of effect that I'm getting from it at the moment, which is really, really nice. For me personally in here, because I share the kind of the studio area, is a dining room, a living room, Kath's got our computer as well, and there are smokers in the house and people that vape as well, myself included at times. So it's actually going to be really good to try and keep all that down to a minimum, especially if there's a group of people all in the same room, all vaping or smoking or doing whatever. It can get to a point where it's actually quite frustrating for me personally. My eyes do suffer with smoke and dust and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully this is going to go some way to relieve that. And I can quite happily leave this on the corner of the desk over there, slightly out of shot of the camera, and leave this running, and hopefully it'll keep keep all the pollen and all allergens and cat hair and all that kind of stuff, keep it well away from my eyes so I can carry on filming and doing what I need to do. So all in all, I'm pretty impressed. Now, price-wise at the moment on Amazon, this is retailing anywhere between the £50 to £60 mark. As we said before, the filters themselves around about £20 a pop, and they generally will last anywhere between sort of 6 to 8 months. If for any reason you're starting getting some sort of odd smells coming out of the machine, it's generally where you've got moisture in the filter and it's kind of becoming moldy, so you want to replace that. You know, like when you go into your car and you put your air conditioning on and it's got that kind of damp dog smell, that's the telltale sign that you need to change your filters, as it would be in a car or in your air purifier. So all in all, actually very impressed. It looks pretty cool, does the job. It's very quiet, which is one thing which I was very concerned about. I didn't want a loud, obnoxious machine cleaning the air. We've used dehumidifiers and things in the house before now, and they can be very loud, and especially with the pumps inside them and all that kind of thing. And also as well, from a health benefit, because this doesn't actually contain air conditioning or any of those kinds of things, it's not going to be pumping out ozone or any other carbons that we don't actually want. All it's doing is filtering the air through that HEPA filter, much like it does with your vacuum and those kinds of things, and just giving you nice, clean, fresh air. So yeah, I'm pretty impressed. It looks good. It's going to hopefully do wonders for the air quality in the house. It's got some nice lighting as well, so we can enjoy that as well. So if we're having a quiet afternoon, take it into the room where we're watching the movies, just leave it plugged away in there, and got a nice little bit of subtle backlighting. So overall, excellent. So this is the first product we've reviewed from part 2, and hopefully this is a sign of things to come. So keep watching and see what else appears from part 2. We may hopefully make a long partnership with this and have these dotted around the house and have the cleanest air in the country. That'd be nice. So I've been Mike, this is Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To. This has been the PARTU BS08 air purifier, and hopefully we'll catch you in the very next video. Thanks for watching.